we have Maxina Storibrook, a brand new author. Actually, no, you're not necessarily brand new. You've been around the block for a couple years now, haven't you?
Yeah, my first book was published in 2016.
All right, so I guess relatively new. And she has a setup right here live in the dealer's room, so she's going to be here all weekend long. You can check out her novel. Her novels. She's the author of the. I'm going to butcher this because I'm stumbling all over my words. The Danarko series, the Danarko Quartet.
You said it right, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Yay. Yay. Awesome. Thank you. Everybody having a good time?
Woo!
I can't hear you. Are we having a good time at Omni? You almost convinced me. Let's hear it one more time. Are we having a good time at Omni Fandom Expo 2019? Okay. One dude says yes. All right. I guess I'm taking over this next spot. Howdy, folks. This is Juan Arauz, one of the other heads of the Ravens flock, the Tony to Jose's Steve. And I am sitting here, very lovely outfit, by the way, with Miss Maxina Storibrook, the author of the Danarko Quartet series. She's an independent author. She came on the scene, you said 2016, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Excellent. Oh my! And I was looking into the books over here. My wife, she is a big fan of high fantasy, of action adventure stuff like this. She's into Terry Goodkind. She has the Shanra novels, and we have all sorts of different, like fantasy series books. The entire collection that she's got is nothing but stuff like this. But I haven't had the chance to actually get her started in the Danarko series. Before we get into your series proper, I want to know exactly as far as getting started on this. What was that like for you? Was it just like you came fresh out of college and I'm going to start writing, or what happened? Or
with this particular book, I actually had the idea for it when I was 7 years old.
Really?
So this series...
So this is like a life's work?
Yeah, it is. It's a life's work. It's my brainchild. It's my passion, my love. And I am very, very ecstatic to see it on paper now, especially in its hardcover version, which is this right here.
Can I show it up to the folks? Yes? Okay. Yeah. Check this out. I've also taken a look at Maxina's website, and some of the artistry and artwork that had gone on that you have up on there is like based on the scenes and characters in your story, and it is divine. It is insane. Did you come up with that on your own as well, or
thank you?
You got friends who are helping you out?
I've hired cover artists before, and especially with my covers and my character card designs and everything else like that. But I'm starting to get back into artwork myself and trying to design my own stuff, because I'm at the point now to where I want to start drawing the things that's in my head, not just writing about them. And that's actually what this cover is right here, is that I actually designed this cover myself. And
this emblem that you have on here on this cover, obviously you're going to have to read the book to get the meaning of this. But tell us a little bit about the story, about your characters. What kind of world are they living in? What sort of hijinks are they getting into? That you put them into. You've been on this since you were 7 years old, and this has been your brainchild. Like, did you start writing everything out from scratch and just update it and modified it as you grew up, or?
When I was 7 years old, I actually wrote 32 pages, and for a 7-year-old, that's a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
I finished the first rough draft when I was 15, though, and that is nothing like the book it is today, that's for sure.
How many pages did that get up to, if I might ask?
15, up to about 200.
That's not bad for
200 manuscript pages.
Right.
From Word document. It was somewhere around there, 180 to 210. That's usually what it averages out, because it's just at about 100,000 words.
Oh my God, that is insane. Yeah, no, this is incredible. All right, so tell us a little more about the story about your Danarko series here. Let's see if we can hook any new readers into your world.
So it starts off with Mara Danarko, the main character,
right,
coming home to her and her mother being attacked by an assassin inside their own home.
Oh no.
And Mara is mortally wounded in the encounter when an old family friend who hadn't been around for a while suddenly shows up out of nowhere through a portal and stops the assassin, taking Mara and her mother to safety. However, as they're crossing through that interdimensional membrane between the realms, Mara passes out in pain, and she wakes up the very next day with not only the wound in her side completely healed, not only on a different planet, but also with sparks coming out of her fingers. And for someone from 21st century Earth, that's not too normal, isn't it?
No, I imagine that's not. Oh my goodness.
It's a sci-fi fantasy series, and it's about Mara trying to figure out how to control this now rampant power.
That is insane.
And she finds out that her parents are actually from this world, and the one who had sent the assassin had actually chased them off planet. And she learns more about that, and more about the scenario, and more about these powers. And that's where I'll leave it off, because if I say anything more,
you might as well be giving the books away, and we can't have that. Not because we're stingy, and not because we don't believe that people should have stuff for free, but when it comes to art, and when it comes to artwork, and when it comes to someone putting their effort and their mind, their heart, their soul, their power, their reality, and their space and time, you need to pay the piper. You need to help support your artists. And speaking of which, I noticed that you have a Patreon page.
I do.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Do you get updates? What kind of perks do we get if we decide to pledge to you on Patreon?
It's actually quite funny, because I like to call this series one that you can go as deep down the rabbit hole as you want. Because while I do have the main quartet, which it's going to be a 4-book series, I also have novelettes and side stories that are Patreon exclusives.
So you've got expanded lore available if you want to sign up to become a patron.
Yeah, and whereas this series follows Mara Danarko, the main character, some of my side stories, which is my $3 tier, I consider it the best tier ever, because it has the most awesome things.
$3, you can't even get a Big Mac for $3.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
And you already have access to 20 plus short stories and 2 whole novelettes.
That is so
for
cool.
that $3 tier.
And that helps fill out the mythos and the world of the Danarko series that you've got.
So anybody who wants to go more in-depth with some of the characters, they have a favorite character and want to read stories about that one specifically, or their point of view from the Danarko book or any of the sequels, they can actually go on there and read that, or figure out, what was this character doing during this time, because they're not in this chapter, but I want to know what they're doing. My patrons can actually request those stories, because I have had this story in my head for so long. I know what every single one of these characters are doing at every single hour.
I know exactly how you feel as a struggling author myself. For me, it's a matter of just getting the stories fleshed out. I have other tales that I've got in my head. I've filled out almost like the first act, if you would, and I know where everyone's going. It's just getting the details of the minutia in. If you ever find yourself in a position where you got almost like writer's block, I hate the term, but what helps you get through that? What helps you push past that sense of I need to finish but I can't, or I don't want to? What helps you get through that hump in the road as you're in your writing process?
Personally, for me, what gets me past it is either going out on a walk and clearing my head and trying to get the blood pumping a little bit harder.
Right.
Also, just taking a journal and just free writing my frustrations onto the paper and how I want the scene to go will also help me get my story flowing again, because as I'm in the middle of writing down, I really want Mara to be doing this, but she's just not cooperating. All of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm actually writing the scene instead of just talking about the scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so then, as soon as I realize I'm doing that, I just switch back over to the computer. But there's just something about physically taking a pen and paper. There's just magic to that. Seeing the words flow straight from your hand onto the paper. Makes
perfect sense. All right. I appreciate your time here, Marina. And I was getting your name mixed up with your characters. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, my God, Maxina. I got your characters. I am so fried right now. I am so sorry. Okay, sorry, Maxina. So, as far as where we can pick up your books, where we can follow you, along with, going on your main website and donating to you on Patreon, where else can we follow along on your stories here and your writing process?
I do have a Facebook and an Instagram, and I do post to those.
All right, where is that going to be?
Maxina Storibrook. That's my handle on both of them, at Maxina Storibrook. So Maxina Storibrook.
Yep. Well, I'll make sure that we have flying graphics over here for the YouTube version. And for anyone who caught that on Instagram, that's Maxina, Maxina Storibrook, Storibrook. All right, Maxina, thank you so much for your time. This is going to be wild. I got a couple glimpses of the book over here when I was looking it up online, and this is killer. This is fun stuff, and I can't wait to see once I pick up copies and stuff. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Maxina Storibrook, author of the Danarko Quartet series, and remember to donate to her on Patreon. Also look her up there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.